Hello, my friends. I hope you're fine and I hope you're doing good. Now, this is Dennis Cashpips again, and I'm here with another very interesting video that is going to help you to elevate your trading career. Now, today I am going to share with you top secrets and top tricks that are going to help you to be a profitable trader, mostly when you're trading with prop firms. Now, this is just a simple risk management plan that you're going to be applying every time you're trading a prop firm so that you never blow out your prop firm. Whenever you're trading a prop firm, whether you're trading to get a payout or you're trading to pass first phase or you're trading to pass the second phase, the first trade that you're going to be taking, you must take a trade that you're going to risk 1% so that you can get to. Please limit yourself to getting 2% of that account growth. So that, for example, if you have a $10,000 account, I want you to risk $100 and I want you to be targeting only to make $200. Now, after you've made $200, the next day you're going to take, or the next trade you're going to be taking, you're going to use that 2% that you've made already from the market. So, for example, you have a $10,000 account and you've already risked $100 and you've gotten your $200. Now, the next time you're going to take the second trade, I want you to risk that same $200 that you already made from the previous trade, and then you're going to target now to get 4%. Now, once you get the second trade right, if the first trade was a win and the second trade was a win, so you are going to now be having already 6% of your account. That means you're going to need only another one trade so that you pass the 8% of the funded account of the most challenges that we have. Now, what if you lose the first trade? If you lose the first trade, you're going to take the next trade and you're going to still risk 1% so that you make 2%. So that means that if you win the second trade after you lost the first one, you're going to be 1% up. And then the next time you're going to risk the same 1% to make 3%. So that means you're going to only use the simplest risk to reward ratios of 1:2. Very simple. After you've done 1:2 for the first time, you're going to take 2% to make 4%, and then you're going to risk the same 2% to make now whatever you want. So make sure that the first trade is a good trade so that it makes for you the 2%. That's a good leverage already. That is going to help you to manage your psychology, to make sure that you're not panicking, because every time you take your first trade and you are into drawdowns and the big drawdown, for example, let's say you take a trade, you risk 2%, and then you are in deep drawdown of maybe like 3% or 4%, your psychology already will be tampered with. It's going to be very difficult for you to come back. Even if you're a pro trader, it's very difficult for you to manage that trade. So you must make sure that your first trade is an A setup. Every time you have a strategy, you must know the A setups that you're going to risk your first trade. The first trade you must take should be an A setup so that it gives you the 2%. And then that 2% is going to be the game changer for you. You can never blow accounts with this kind of strategy. If you use this plan, you can never blow accounts at all, because you're always going to risk the money that the market has given you. That's why, because when I realized this, I no longer now bother about getting the overall drawdown, daily drawdowns that are big. I just get a cheap account. So I go for fundednext, the cheap one, which has drawdown of 4% daily and then 8% overall, because I am sure that it's very difficult for me to lose my account after getting it. Once I purchase the account, I trade, I risk 1%, I make 2%. If I risk 1% and I lose the 1%, the next day I am going to risk another 1% to make the 2%. So I just keep on playing with the market money, not my money. My money is now safe. I will just be using their money to be risking, and then I get the returns. Then the returns, I take them back in the market and then make profits. If I make losses, fine. For example, if the second trade you took, after winning the first trade, you took the second trade, you risked 2%, and then you came back to 0. So that means you're now at 0 profit and 0 loss. It's okay. Now go back to 1%. Go to 1%. Risk again 1% to make 2%. After making 2%, you're going to go again the second time. You're going to risk the 2%, and then you're going to get 4%. And then you're going to make 2%, and then you risk again to get 4%. Now that's after the first trade. Remember, you can now take any risk to reward ratio that you want. Maybe you can take 1:4. You can take 1:3, 1:5, depending on your strategy. Of course, every person has their different strategy. But my strategy that I trade gives me a minimum of 1:3. So the 1:3 is okay after the first trade has given you 1:2. Listen, the first trade, they must always be 1:2. And that's how you're going to be passing it from. You can pile up prop firms every time you trade. You take a prop firm, you're going to trade that prop firm, and then you're going to pass that prop firm because you have managed your risk very well and you're sure that your money is not so much at stake. You're going to win all the time. For example, I passed the challenges the challenge that I did. The first challenge, which is 8%, I passed it in 7 days, and then the second one I passed in 2 days. But of course, they said that the minimum trading days is 5 days, so I had to wait for the 5 days so that I come back, and then I kept on trading with this open zone until the 3 days lapsed, and I got funded. So as I speak to you now, I am funded with $5,000 as we had planned earlier on this video. I broke down the video. I said we're now going to have $5,000. Personally, I am already funded. I've just been having a little bit of issues. I'm putting things here and there so that we can be able to be trading together. I'm not yet set, but once I'm getting set, we're going to be working. So don't worry if you've not yet passed your challenge. What you have to do is just click the subscribe button and then keep the notification bell, and then you just keep liking this video so that it reaches out to more people. And let's make it, let's go and smash this forex market. This 2025 is our year, and we must make money in this 2025 year. Thank you so much for watching. It's Cash Pips Dennis, and I say now as Cash Pips.